What up, everyone? It is your boy Bodega from the Curse Ones podcast. We got Kid Clutch in the building, and we are going to be talking about what is the best sports anime of all time or currently.
Yeah, it's probably all time.
All time,
I mean,
right?
it definitely is. Update. I mean, we didn't talk about that last, and we're in a new setup right now because it is my house this time, not his place. We watched the Haikyuu movie not too long ago. It was only by me, so
yeah, like 5 minutes from the theater.
Literally, so we were like, yeah, we'll just do it here. Now we got a little setup. It's just my living room, so it's not too crazy. We don't got like the backdrop and stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't bring all the extra stuff because. I don't know.
Because fuck it.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Anyway. I haven't seen one person mention it anyways. It doesn't matter.
They text me individually saying, "I love the tapestry." Okay?
Yeah, one person.
But yeah, we're gonna be talking about sports anime, talking mostly about the big three, that being Kuroko no Basket, Haikyuu, and Blue Lock.
They're the top three. I mean, like it's always has been. Before Blue Lock was Kuroko no Basket, and Haikyuu were the top two. Like, yeah. They were just like the two biggest ones that everyone has known. Blue Lock came on the scene with the twin guns and just
twin guns and some crazy
during the World Cup
demons
went some crazy stuff. There has been other
like
sports. Awashi, another soccer one that I do love it. I watched the first season. I thought it was a different concept because it was much more. So like Blue Lock is more fucking crazy, like
more mythical,
more mythical. Haikyuu is more like character, stuff like character based. Kuroko no Basket is very like talent oriented and just like all not mythical, like not fantastical, but it's like
they got powers. Green hair with glasses is definitely mythical.
Powers based, like
anybody who's
superpowers.
He can pull up from any spot on the court. Yeah, that's crazy. That makes stuff look like nothing.
Exactly. That's why Awashi is more like technical, like it's very like soccer based and more like a understanding soccer or football, as you like to call it, in like a more technical and like advanced aspect where it's like you actually learn a lot more advanced concepts in Awashi than like other sports anime. So that's why it's a different type of medium. So it's not for everyone.
But it's not as unfortunately
it's not nearly
as
popular.
Yeah.
There's like is there even others? There's like
I need a football anime.
Like
American football.
There's a rugby one, which is okay.
I mean, that's cool, but I need an American football.
I don't think they're going to.
Because, you can make it. You can make the twin guns and stuff because American football.
Dude, American football will be sick, insane. Bro. There's so many positions. It's so many players, also it's difficult. But that would be crazy.
You could tell it through the story of just one player, like.
Yeah, but it's like then you're. So what you have as a quarterback style, or do you have it a wide receiver style? Like, what do you do?
You could pick a position.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because like you're gonna like.
Or do an ensemble thing, but like how like
they could do it. They could definitely do it. They could definitely do it.
Quarterback and like a running back or quarterback wide receiver and stuff like that. It would be great because
it could be interesting.
Egoist, motherfucker, football players got egos, dog.
Oh yeah.
So I think it would be great.
It's just like it's just anime is Japanese. American football is American.
I mean, have like Netflix do something like that, an American company animated.
I agree. I mean, like there definitely is possible because there's like a lot of other sports one. Like there's a golf one which is.
Yeah, we're not talking about.
There's Ace of Diamond, I think, is like the baseball one that's like the next popular.
Oh yeah.
There's the Prince of Tennis, of course.
Yeah,
it's whatever.
I mean, I need a re-up of a basketball one.
There was one that came out a while ago. I forgot what it's called. Oh, it's a Hero no Sora. I think it's like it's like this. It's much more, I guess, like sentimental.
Just give us Slam.
I guess, yeah. I mean, like, I want another basketball one too. Like, with like the crazy stuff, like stuff, a more modern basketball one would be really interesting.
Yeah.
So, like, I definitely agree.
But
it's those three. If you have any other one out there that you're thinking that it is,
and we missed, let us know.
Let us know. But I don't think there's an anime a sports anime that competes with those three.
Yeah, I mean, if you mention sports anime, it's those three are getting mentioned.
Yeah.
Any one of those three. But how we're going to view this is we're going to talk about each one individually, break down some pros, cons, and stuff about it, and then just at the end give our lineup of what we think is from 3 to 1. Like 3 being the least, the best, the least, and then number 1
the worst and the best,
Yeah. So
my question for you is, okay, I think we can all understand that in sports in general, like obviously media, when you're exemplifying sports, it's going to be exaggerated, right? You know, like there's a lot of times when like, like if you're playing the sport and like all the shit that it's happening in the screen, there's not enough time for that shit to happen in real life. Like
Yeah.
they have all these inner monologues like in 1 second intervals. Like that's not happening. So it's a lot more exaggerated, and there are a lot more things that like happen in dramatic size where it's like it's not real sports. So we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
What I would say is we understand that Haikyuu is the least dramatized in terms of like crazy fucking shit happening, right?
Yeah. It's more
realistic.
Except maybe Hinata's like insane vertical.
But like even like, his vertical is crazy, but just for his height, like he's not fucking. His feet aren't above the fucking net.
I mean,
you thought that it was, but it wasn't.
It was pretty much.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. He's not fucking above the net. He was over the standing above. No, he's not. Like Haikyuu's definitely more realistic. Mm-hmm. What would you say is more like unrealistic between Blue Lock versus Kuroko's No Basket? Aside from fucking Midorima,
I have to say Midorima.
Besides that, though,
just because there's no fucking way. But like, I mean, obviously, we're not seeing like Isagi do guns.
we are, but
but like
he's not actually pulling out.
Yeah, you're not pulling out guns. But I would have to probably say Blue Lock.
Unrealistic?
Because, just some of the stuff I've seen them do, I'm just there like...
Oh, man, we're talking about that? You're talking about the Kaiser stuff?
The Kaiser stuff, but some of the shots they've taken.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like...
It's like the last second saves, too, by non-goalkeepers.
Yeah.
It's like, no fucking way the fucking striker is running back from the other side of the field to headbutt the fucking corner.
Are we talking about Gagamaru? Because I love Gagamaru.
Gagamaru's a goalkeeper. I'm talking about just like the fucking like midfielders are like, it's like, yes, it's about to go in, and it's like the foot like in the air. Like, no, that's not happening. Like, that's just not happening. Even though in Kuroko's, we got obviously Midorima, and we have fucking Aomine fucking like doing shit like that. It's like, okay, I understand. It's crazy shit on both, but I'm just like,
so I haven't finished Kuroko's No Basket just because I kind of got fed up with. I felt like a lot of it was just repetitive, like the miracles and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Oh, you didn't see the best character then?
The black dude with the blue hair?
No, you didn't see his name is Akashi, the red hair guy.
No,
he's the best. He's fucking crazy.
See, like, but that's the thing is like, and I also didn't like the main character, not
Kuroko or Kagami.
Kagami.
Yeah,
I just felt whatever. I just felt I'm like, there's not really a story besides I want to get better and be better. And it's like I get it, but like also, like we talked about the Haikyuu video, like I need more.
I agree.
And I think why I love Isagi so much is because that man has development and character moments that you're just like, holy shit.
I think also the point of that, because you're right about that, like, but Blue Lock is much more modernized. Yeah, my dog was in the pool, now she wants to go inside. Let me in. Not happening. More modernized, so like to modern sports, where like nowadays in modern sports, you need to be much more versatile and like the sport in general to be good at it. Yeah. Where like back then, like if you had like a niche role or like something you were good at, you could succeed. That's what like Hinata in volleyball like probably wouldn't be that good in today's volleyball because like everyone needs to be really good at everything.
Yeah.
And like for Kagami and Blue Lock in Kuroko's, like the motherfucker can't shoot.
Yeah.
If you can't shoot nowadays, you're not. It's like you'd think that was something they would incorporate, but it was just back then. Like it was like if you were a big person with like athleticism, you could pretty much still like be dominant in the game without having a jump shot. But in Blue Lock, it's much more nice. So like everybody needs to be good at fucking passing, shooting, dribbling, defending, like, everything. You need to be good at. So
no, I agree, and obviously like. We're gonna start with Kuroko no Basket. It's the most dated out of the bunch.
It definitely is, yeah.
In terms of animation.
But you haven't watched after the series, there was a movie, and that movie was so good.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
It's like it's probably the reason where like after I finished, I'm like, that was solid. And then I watched that movie, and I was like, this literally is one of the best things because it's just like all the characters kind of come together, and then you're just like, it's just like powers and shit. It's fucking crazy.
I'm not shitting on Kuroko's no Basket because I enjoyed a good part of it. I like Kuroko.
It's also the sport that probably we like the most, right?
Yeah, basketball is my favorite sport.
Right?
So like, I don't hate it, but I didn't like it as much because of Kagami. Like I was down for like Kuroko's whole redemption to prove that he's something, but like it just always felt like he's. I feel like it did a shitty job of exemplifying a point guard.
Yeah,
I get a point guard. His main objective is to run the offense, space the floor, pass the ball. But like, I don't know. My favorite guards score also.
Yeah,
Like Allen
it's
Iverson and stuff like that.
It's the
like,
modern age of
you know.
yeah.
But even then, no. Like even back in the early 2000s, AI like.
But those were anomalies. Like
Yeah.
AI was an anomaly.
Yeah.
You had like Rondo back in the day was not a scoring point guard, but he was saucy.
But like J Kidd, he could score, but he
wasn't like a scorer.
I mean, he could shoot. He could shoot, but he was a passer first.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But like I feel like with Kuroko, he's not really scoring.
He just had like his own little niche.
Yeah, and it's just like I feel like it does a bad job of like exemplifying what like a point guard could be.
I definitely agree with you. I mean, like my favorite point guards are Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Chauncey Billups. Like then we have Kyrie, like scoring, like fucking saucy point guards that just
can do it all.
Can do just so much things where it's like it reinvented the point guard position from just this Rondo, Chris Paul type thing where it's like, or Magic Johnson where it's like I just run the offense, crazy passes. Like it's more like, hey, I can do all that stuff, but I can also pull up at any point and just like drill a three in your mouth.
Here's the thing too, like we'll considered the greatest point guard of all time, Magic Johnson.
Either him or Steph Curry. I think Magic still is like better, but
as a better point guard.
Yeah.
But even Magic could score. You know, like he wasn't the best shooter.
He wasn't the best shooter, but he puts the ball in the basket somehow.
Yeah, like, with baby sky hook or layup or everything. I'm not seeing that from and then
no, not from Kuroko.
Yeah, and
no way.
That's the issue. That was the issue. Is like it felt like I'm the main character, but I can't do anything.
Yeah,
and sometimes that's how I feel about Hinata, but that's his thing. From what I watched in Kuroko's, they never like addressed that fully for me.
Yeah,
as long as I
because it was never the point for Kuroko, which is I think it's the detriment to Kuroko's basketball because basketball is the only sport really a team sport that is more individualistic than any other sport. So like when you have a main character focus, because volleyball, like you're right, it's like similar in terms of like Hinata versus Kamea, but volleyball is a very team eccentric sport. So like you can't do anything without anybody else in volleyball. In basketball, you can still do whatever the hell you want. You can still
win
exactly
by just playing yourself.
So like it works in Hinata in case in volleyball, it doesn't work in basketball because it's like, well, if why would I want Kuroko over like obviously not Steph Curry, but like a Steph Curry type player, right? Why would I not just
pass me the ball and score?
Like why don't they put that? It's just he like vanishes and you guys kind of look track. Like I'd rather just someone that commands all the attention and then frees up the teammates, right? So it's like they kind of do like obviously it's outdated. It's not as prevalent nowadays.
That's why I would want them to do like another one, like just to show like how the game of basketball is currently. And I feel like anytime they'll make a show of trying to capture something current, it's going to be outdated because the game is always evolving. But comparison to like Haikyuu and Blue Lock, it's like it's hard. There are things I like about it. I like the players. I like the characters. You know, I like the crazy play styles. But it was missing something. It was a good prototype to set up a future sports show.
Absolutely. I mean, like that being said, though, it's probably the most like purely entertaining out of all the three.
For just sport?
Just the sport, it's the most entertaining because like they're just zooming past. It's fucking crazy shit. Like it's very entertaining. But obviously, like that's not everything. But like that's like we like shitting on Kuroko a little bit, but we're like we understand like that shit when you're watching it. If you turn your brain off and don't care about like the practicality of basketball, how it is,
you feel like you're watching.
You're like holy fuck, holy crap!
Like this, like before some of the bullshit. Like I could pull up from any spot on the court. Okay,
besides that,
fuck off. But like like it was very like oh shit. And then like the fact that they took famous plays that happened,
they did,
and recreated it in their own way. Like I almost said Kanye, Kobe's behind the back dunk on Shane Battier. Like that's tough, you know. Like I'm assuming it was Shane Battier that he dunked on. The one where he like did this.
Oh yeah, I think that's Shane Battier. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And so like.
You didn't watch it, but like with Akashi, the red hair guy, he has a thing where he like goes up for a layup and they jump, and he does the behind the back fake, and then like they're like oh I got you, and he goes nope, and he elbows the ball to the other guy.
Oh, he
like
did the white chocolate,
and like that's fucking tough. Like, that shit was sick. So it's like there is a nice because basketball is I think like the most like pretty sport where it's like. The things you can do in basketball, it's just so like smooth. Like in soccer, there's things you could do, but like a lot of times it kind of is up to like error.
People may argue that
what?
Between basketball and soccer or football being, I'm saying football as in soccer.
Yeah.
Being the prettier because some of the shit like Like
there is a lot of
the
stuff.
Pele shots, the
But like
rainbow.
I always say like it's beautiful. Like there's beautiful stuff in soccer. No, but like the Neymar stuff. Oh my god! Like there's so much. But a lot of times, if you kind of look at it, it's like it's not perfect. If that makes sense, where like when you like are kicking the ball or something, it's like
because someone's fucking.
Yeah,
up
someone
and stuff
fucks
like that.
up, or like the ball kind of just luckily bounces. Like you can like do something like they try to tackle, and the ball like hits the ball and kind of like just goes in front of you, and you run to it. Instead of like basketball, it's just like you have all control over everything, and it's just so smooth.
I mean, I won't disagree.
Yeah,
but I
mean, people might disagree. I don't mind.
I'm getting into like Blue Lock has got me into soccer a little bit. Also, TikTok Zlatan clips are gold. Just seeing how some of the shots like kind of like wiggle around,
those are
stuff
nice.
like that. You're just like, wow.
Well, but and it's also like the reason I say it's like those are beautiful, but it's like the goalkeeper fucks up and not getting it right. It's kind of like that's always in the back of my mind where it's like it's not perfect because in basketball you could take this shot, have the most contested defense, but it's like they'll still make it, and it's like okay, well, there's nothing the veteran could have done there.
Yeah, like
nothing.
Like Jordan shot against the Cleveland Cavaliers, like
Jordan,
yeah, the one where he's like dribbling and he stops at the free throw line.
Oh
the
yeah,
iconic jump up.
Oh yeah.
Or Kyrie shot in the finals against like Curry.
Oh yeah.
Like there's so many.
There's just nothing you could
LeBron
do about
against
it.
Orlando. Like,
yeah, nothing you can do about it.
Day.
But like it's like everybody did their absolute best, and it still went in, and that's like it's just beautiful.
Kawhi Leonard's corner shot.
Yes,
stuff like that.
So that's stuff that like I find like basketball is the most prettiest sport because it's like it's just utter perfection a lot of the times. Where like soccer, it's almost perfection, but like there's always some type of mistake that like usually causes to the So that's like a fine thing. But the point of that is the fact that because of that, it's much more realistic to replicate in terms of like an anime than like than like for basketball soccer because like a lot of the shit that they do in Blue Lock does not happen in real life.
I mean, high schoolers are not doing it.
Especially not high schoolers or like U20 type shit.
Yeah, there's no way. Some of the shit. I mean, like maybe one.
A few.
But like, yeah. But I think as a whole, those are like my gripes and things I love about Kuroko's No Basket. I think we could both agree that like it has its issues, but it's still, I think, a gold standard of setup. It was like the gold prototype. Now going to Haikyuu, which came next, and volleyball, I think it does a great job of representing volleyball as a whole. I think there are things that they do great as an ensemble piece. The characters are generally entertaining and generally good.
Yeah.
Any gripes I would have with it is
besides like the Kageyama and Hinata stuff.
Yeah,
which we talked about in the movie.
I feel like like to get more impact as a show, more look into outside of high school, like how volleyball is.
Oh, for a world. For
world? like
okay.
College, professionally.
Okay.
You know,
no spoilers. We get a little bit of that later on, but in terms of the actual series, I can understand.
Like
that. It's tough because volleyball isn't as prevalent as basketball and soccer. So like, it's like for us, like I don't even know what the college volleyball league is for like us and stuff like that, right? Like I couldn't.
But you know that. But you know this.
I'm sure, but it's not. It's not. I know college is definitely, but like there's not like I don't even know what like you would consider the volleyball like professional league.
I think it would be like the Olympics.
Besides that, though,
I mean, because the women's like
the women's
volleyball
really good,
is like is fucking world known. Misty May Trainer, like that's legendary stuff.
But besides the Olympics, like without like actual professional volleyball leagues, because I would say like basketball, we have the NBA, we have like
their
the
own
Europe
Caitlin
League.
Clark. That's what it is.
I agree.
Volleyball needs their own Caitlin Clark.
We just need a fucking. I mean, there's a lot of good volleyball players that I do know of, but I'm just like it's a lot of just like Team USA versus like thing. I'm like, where's the Premier League, the fucking the La Liga, the
where's the NBA version of volleyball?
Where are like
where's MLV?
It's just not as prevalent as like a worldwide.
I feel
sport.
like it could though.
It definitely could.
It could, but like as college goes though, like I feel like we can. I feel like as a college aspect, we could see some.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these third years are like. Like, oh man, we're done. Ooh, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Nope, never mind. Like a lot of these third years are like, oh my god, we're done. It was an honor. Like they make it seem like they're just gonna go work a 9 to 5.
They are.
I mean,
that's the thing.
But like
that's the funniest thing. Because in
Japan,
that's how Japan is though.
Yeah, but it's like, what about college? Like I would like to get hey, like if I do well, this college could look forward to me, because it's like
it's just not the culture in Japan. That's really all it is. Because like, and if this was America, they would. It's like they'd be like, man, like I lost my championship my last basketball year, but like we'll get it in college or something like that.
Yeah.
But like in Japan, it's like you get your fun in high school to do like your activities, and unless you're like the best of the best and have like an actual future in that sport, you're just like, well, I'm gonna go to college and just like work a 9 to 5, like.
Which like, but that's my issue, is because like, I mean, obviously we didn't grow up in the culture of Japan, so like we have the Americanized views and culture and stuff like that. For me though, as a viewer, I'm like, that's what I'm missing, because it doesn't seem realistic to me, because I didn't grow up.
It makes things more sad because you're just like, man, they're done. But it's like, it's sad they lost, but like I want them to like succeed, because like we just spent so much time watching.
Yeah, them. I like go to like they go to college and they're doing well. Like you don't even have to show us, but just say like, oh yeah. Like Daichi ended up as captain of the volleyball team in college, and they did good.
And I will say that in terms of obviously we don't know, like Blue Lock, it's gonna not be that rough, because Blue Lock is the only one that isn't like high school focused, like team versus team.
No, Blue Lock is like we're showing you we can get to the world.
For Kuroko's, it's funny that you say that, because like it's like all these motherfuckers are like extremely good at basketball, but none of them go to the NBA except Kagami, and he doesn't even go to the NBA. I'm like there's like this like there's like this poster joke where like it showed all like the future jobs that everyone gets, and like Kagami at the very end of the movie, he gets like an offer to go like play college basketball in the USA. And then we don't get any update on that until like they had like this poster, and it shows all the future jobs of like the Generation Miracles, and like Kagami's back as a fucking like construction worker, right? And it's just like, well, that didn't fucking work.
But that would piss me off. Also, you telling me a kid who could shoot from any spot on the court can't get on.
Again, it's just exaggeration where it's like, apparently said like he needs to have the perfect fucking form, like for the way for it to go in all the time, and it's like fair. So if any good player would just guard him full court, he would never get that off. So it makes sense, but also, how the fuck you making full courts like that anyway? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, but all bullshit, because you're gonna get time to get a open bucket
at full court at least. Yeah, like, no one's gonna do that all the time. It's like, unless you're making it, but it's like, okay, they'll just stop you.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense, but it's like, I always thought that was just an exaggerated thing that they kind of showed to kind of like be annoying. But
they definitely were that.
But in terms of like, so for Haikyuu though, to like at the end, there is like the college and professional stuff that they kind of show, which really makes it a lot interesting. Blue Lock, we obviously know what happens. Like we're
Blue Lock, we know that they're
going for the World Cup.
They're going for the World Cup. So it's like we're reaching, and that to segue into Blue Lock. You know, Haikyuu's great but we mostly just talked about it in the last one.
Yeah.
You know, there's not really a lot that we could falter on it. And I think it does a realistic job to an extent of showing like volleyball.
Yeah, it teaches volleyball as a whole, character dynamics, and just beautiful like sequences in volleyball.
Yeah,
just like it's just
the rallies
perfect
that couldn't happen.
Yes, exactly.
Slightly exaggerated, sure.
Yeah,
but more or less consistent. Blue Lock,
whole.
I think what I will say about Blue Lock is I think it is the best sports anime. Not to be recency bias, I just think it does such a great job of telling sports world today.
Fair.
Because these kids now, like the new generation, like play sports, they are way more egocentric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all about me, putting on a show, being hella disrespectful and having that ego. But it shows that like they will backstab each other.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all sports are like that, but like, you know, when you watch a lot of like young kids playing like AAU stuff, they take everything that they see from the NBA using basketball.
And like I don't necessarily like that. Like
I don't love it.
So that's why blood turns me off a little bit. Where I'm just like, I understand the premise, and the premise is such an interesting premise where it's about ego, and it's like you gotta be like Messi, Ronaldo, Noah in the fucking thing, the created character, obviously, but like it's like, can you fucking as a player when you're 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, can you have that ego to take that shot? Even though your teammate is right next to you, and if you pass it, it's a free goal. It's like, do you have the ego to do that? Where it's like, yeah, you can play to guarantee the win, or can you play to win the game, but also feel that your ego? And it's like, I love that. And like, they like expanded on the ego throughout the whole series, where it's like, your ego isn't just, I take every goal, I do things, but it's, I make the play that wins us the game. So even though this guy scores, he scored because I did that shit.
I set him up.
I did that.
I orchestrated the whole
exactly.
thing.
So that's why I love it. At first, I was like, okay, like this is fucking stupid because I'm just like, yeah, you got to score goals, but like, we played sports throughout our life. It's a team sport. You're not gonna win just because you're doing everything by yourself. And then they kind of expanded on everything. I'm just like, okay, that's a good premise of the thing because it's a very core, solid thing. But then it's about like everything as a whole and not just.
Wasn't even a soccer fan when I started Blue Lock,
Yeah.
and I was like, wow. But like, unfortunately, that is the mentality of a lot of like this new generation getting into, like higher and higher levels of sports. It's like they're so conceited.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Steve Nash as a point guard, and so I was like, I got to be able to score when I need to.
Yeah.
But my first objective is to facilitate my teammates, help them get the buckets that they need.
Yeah.
But then you see these people, and they're like, they don't have that mindset. They're like, no, I need to be able to drop 50. I need to be able to drop they're looking at players like KD, who is just a walking bucket.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's the player I want to be, a walking bucket. But then what happens when like you can't do the Blue Lock method for just NBA because it won't work.
You can't because like, if we look at like the players nowadays, like every player does everything. So that's like the thing where it's like back then every player had their roles. Like there was like you had Derek Fisher or like Ron Artest in the Lakers. Like Derek Fisher was the point guard that could shoot threes. Ron Artest was the defensive
Enforcer.
thing and like he could shoot threes. Pau Gasol and Kobe was like the main guy and he did what he wanted. Everyone looked up to Kobe because it was like he did what he wanted and he wasn't fitting in a role. Pau Gasol was like the big guy that stretches the court and does like the vision.
Could move and do everything.
Bynum was the big center down low. It's like everyone a role. Now it's like all 1 through 5 are all shooters, defensive players, and can pass the ball. And it's like
look at Luka.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Technically,
he's like 6'10".
Yeah, he would be like a small forward, power forward, but he's bringing up the ball.
Yeah, he's orchestrating the offense.
And can break ankles and score like LeBron. It's like my man's 6'8".
Yeah,
run the floor faster than a point guard. Can facilitate like a point guard.
Not Luka, but yeah.
No, I'm talking about LeBron.
LeBron, yes.
Yeah, LeBron. Like it's just insane. But like I feel like while that's amazing to see the development, it also is a detriment because like it just shows that like
it's lacking team.
Yeah. Even though LeBron may preach team, it's like a big part of that.
It's easy to preach team when you're not that person.
A big part of like early LeBron's career was there was no team.
Yeah.
He was just the team himself. But I feel like going back to Blue Lock, that's why it does such a good job of showing modern day sports because it's like you don't really fucking need the team. Look, we don't really need a goalie. We have a striker being a goalie.
Yeah,
which is mildly disrespectful. But some of the shot that they've been able to do, and I like, I forget his name. The dude has like the Nico.
Yeah.
Early, like his vision.
That was sick.
Being amazing because I was like, in basketball terms, that's a point guard.
Yeah.
Isagi. I love Isagi. Point guard mentality. The fact that we used to talk about some of these Blue Lock characters and use basketball players to refer to them. So we had like Botcher's Kyrie, like with the handles and stuff like that, And I think it does such a good job of storytelling, the development of characters, the breakdown of characters. Characters definitely go through waves. Kunigami came in like, I just want to be a superhero and, play sports the right way and do what I need to do. And now we see a broken man who's just there like, no, fuck all you guys. I'm scoring. But then you have the wild cards and Shido and stuff like that and Kaiser and stuff like that. And I just think overall it does a great job. Now is it getting a little too exaggerated with
a little bit.
Guns and stuff like that?
There was a good like time where Blue Lock was like perfection.
Yeah.
And it was just like
U20 stuff.
I
mean, I'm not saying it's bad now.
No, it's not bad now.
But it is getting a little excessive. But I do think it's the best representation of a sport in anime right now, of all time right now.
I'd agree because it's so much more modern where like Haikyuu is very representative of volleyball, but like it's much more than just representing volleyball. Yeah. Kuroko's is not necessarily a representation of basketball. It's more of a basketball in like a supernatural aspect.
Yeah.
And so let's ask this. We can like kind of close off with like a little bit more points. In terms of story, what is the best out of the three?
I want to say Blue Lock.
I think Blue Lock has the most interesting premise.
I think story-wise, though, just because, like...
Yeah, interesting premise of the story.
Like, just no overall story, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, the premise of the story is more interesting because it's better.
Imagine being, like, locked up with, like, a group of people all hungry for the same thing.
Yeah,
and
that's why.
Yeah,
like the premise is so good.
Like
it's not high school teams. It's fucking Hunger Games.
We're skipping high school.
Yeah.
Like, we're skipping college. Like we're going. Like you're going straight to the World Cup. Like you are going to be.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you do good on the World Cup, you're going to end up in the league.
Yeah.
You know, so like. That's why I really like about it because it shows like there's a main objective rather than I want to win my high school nationals.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't give a fuck about high school nationals. This is winning the World damn Cup.
That's why I think Blue Lock's story, like on terms of like just paper, the premise is probably the best because it's just the most interesting in general. Like they have the same problem with Kuroko versus High School Hue. It's just high school level stuff where it's like whatever. So Blue Lock probably is the best story. Characters, Haikyuu.
I love Blue Lock characters.
I like them too.
Maybe I'll feel differently towards the end of the series.
Maybe,
but Haikyuu
characters are the best. Like
I don't hate one person on the team. I don't like Kageyama, but I don't hate him.
Like there's a lot of characters in Blue Lock. I literally could not give two fucks about. Yeah. Like there's like we have like Batra. I love. Isagi's tough. Rin. Honestly, I don't really like Rin that much. I think he's annoying.
He's the MacGuffin. Cool. He's the thing to strive to.
Yeah, like Shido's cool.
I love Shido.
Kaiser's cool. Kunigami is kind of changed, but he's kind of cool now. We said Nagi's tough.
Nagi's him.
But I don't care. Baro also is pretty tough. But I don't like Reo. Don't care for Nico. I don't care for
Nico's cool.
Nico's cool, but I don't care.
It doesn't do enough.
It doesn't do much for me. I don't care for Aryu. I don't care for Tokimitsu.
What about Hiyori?
Hiyori don't give a fuck. It's like he had a sad backstory. It's like I don't care because like, we have too many good people, too many characters I already care about to like care about these new characters. Be interesting.
True.
But like Haikyuu is like we love Karasuno, like the team. We love like I like Hinata. Kageyama is whatever, but like I like Daichi, amazing. Asahi's cool. Yep. We love Noya. Suga we love. Tsukishima, incredible. Yamaguchi, fantastic. Tanaka's cool. Then we have. Oikawa's amazing. Yeah. We have Ushijima's cool. We have
Kuro
and Kenma. And then who's we have you don't know them, but the Mia twins from the thing. We have like Hoshiyumi's really good too. Like, there's so many good and then we have Bokuto for almost forgot about fucking Bokuto.
Bokuto
so many good. Just like
he's white haired. He's white haired.
I love even the characters I don't care about. I still like them
enough.
But then I like the top of the top characters more than I like Blue Lock characters.
Okay.
So I think Haikyuu definitely wins the characters.
Stories Blue Lock, characters Haikyuu.
I think the character representations of Blue Lock and Haikyuu are very close.
Yeah.
Like the backstories and kind of how they kind of develop the characters are very close. But I think Haikyuu takes it.
Main characters, I'm giving it Blue Lock.
Main character, I don't know. I don't like Isagi more than Hinata.
That's crazy.
I don't like Isagi. Kind of gets annoying at some point.
But I feel like Hinata doesn't develop.
For does.
Good portion, he does not develop.
He develops in a different way. It's not the same. So
it's not till 3 or 4.
For me, is Hinata stands on business in different ways than Isagi does. Where Isagi kind of just he kind of just does shit, and then I'm saying Hinata dude, Isagi has never once looked at someone and been like, besides we did with Baro, but he's
fucking Kaiser.
But it's different. Where it was before the match, where he's like, "I'm gonna beat you." Where he's always thinking how am I gonna beat this person? How am I gonna beat this person? And then with Kaiser, he's like, "You're a fucking piece of shit." Where it's okay, but it's also Isagi, shut your dumb ass up because that was so fucking lucky. It's kind of a lot of times where I'm all right, Isagi, shut the fuck up now. Calm the fuck down.
Nah.
And I don't know. It's just
Isagi's different.
It's a little too excessive the way Isagi does it.
It is excessive.
That's what I'm saying.
But Isagi's like that.
He is like that, but Hinata is also like that, but in a different way. Where it's I'm shit, but I promise you I'm beating you.
But you forget episode 1 of Blue Lock showed Isagi from day 1. He had the potential to be what he is now. Because when they
kicked that motherfucker in the face?
When he kicked that motherfucker in the face, he didn't go after the monk.
He didn't.
He didn't go after the monk and take
he probably should have.
He didn't take the easy way out. He went for, you beat my team? And you're the number one guy around my area? Uh-huh. I'm coming for you first.
True.
And he reveled in it. He said, I love this feeling.
Again, it's just excessive to me, though. I'm there's
motherfuckers who play
for me,
that.
I like when a player is good, but modest. where like he's not arrogant about like the shit he does, and Isagi is just so fucking arrogant sometimes. I'm just like, Isagi, like shut the fuck
But
up.
compared
Like,
to some of the characters in Blue Lock, Isagi's not even that crazy.
no, you're right.
Baru insane.
Yeah.
Kaiser insane.
Rin insane.
Rin is such a bitch. I'm like this because my brother doesn't like me.
That's the funny thing. Dude, Rin's motivation is so fucking funny to me. Where he's like, brother, we're gonna be the best too. His brother comes back. I fucking hate you, brother. What happened? I'm gonna be the best midfielder in the world.
I'm gonna get my revenge.
What happened? I hate you. I'm just like, Rin. What? It's so funny to me.
Yeah, honestly, Rin feels like an afterthought right now.
Yeah,
because I feel like
is.
Kaiser's such a better antagonist to Isagi than Rin is. But Kaiser on some crazy shit.
Kaiser's crazy shit.
But Kaiser's look is so tough.
Kaiser is tough. And I'll give you, I don't know actually. Would you give character designs to Blue Lock besides?
Yes.
I don't know, but look at Bokuto's tough. Like
no, but they look crazy.
But like Kaiser does. But who else would look kind of crazy?
No. They look Haiku characters look crazy. The haircut's atrocious. But Kaiser rolled up with tats.
Kaiser is tough. Kaiser looks tough.
The zombie with grills in his mouth.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah. No, they're tough. Honestly, they're tough. Shido's tough. Like, Rin's pretty basic. Isagi's pretty basic.
Black with pink hair highlight. He's tough.
He is tough, honestly.
Fingernails painted.
Yeah, because honestly, Haiku only has Bokuto has a tough design. Hoshiumi's tough design is like okay.
White hair,
yeah. And then everyone else is kind of standard, yeah. Hinata, I guess, because he's like different than everyone else.
Got the Ichigo hair.
Yeah, so like it's like I guess that makes sense. But I'm just like, yeah, Kaiser's tough. Shido's tough. But okay, so we talked about character representation and like their backstories.
Mm-hmm.
Rivalries, we said like
it goes to Blue Lock.
I don't know, but we just showed like the rivalry versus Karasuno versus Nekoma.
But that's a great rivalry.
That's what. But there's so many individualistic
that's not
rivalries.
A main rivalry though.
It is the main rivalry.
No,
it is the main
because they're not constantly going up against each other.
But it's different because in Blue Lock,
also Kenma wasn't doing shit for a while
because they had like this really interesting rivalry, but it's like the Suki versus Kuro stuff, like
but
the whole team versus. It's team versus team.
Yeah, but I'm talking Kenma versus Hinata. I'm talking just strictly main characters because
but I don't think that's fair because
that's
not what Haikyuu is doing though. It's not individualistic rivalry because like we had like the Kageyama versus Oikawa rivalry, incredible.
That was great.
Exactly.
That was great, but that was the last time Kageyama was great.
Exactly. But like that's still. But good,
we could talk about Isagi versus Rin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isagi versus Bachara. Isagi versus.
But
Nagi.
No, Isagi and Bachara don't have a rivalry.
They do.
They not that much because they were on the same team for a while. And they were kind of together.
Yeah.
And then when they played against each other, it wasn't a rivalry. They were just like it was more so respect. Like it's a similar.
I don't see them. I mean, they respect each other, but I didn't see it that way. I saw it more as a rivalry because I felt like Bachara felt like he was getting left behind and had to show.
But that wasn't like he wasn't like upset. He was like it was more so like he was jealous of the rivalry between Isagi and Rin, not being rival. It was like different. He wanted to stand with them, not be against them.
Well, fine.
Because we have like Isagi Rin, Isagi Kaiser, two of the best ones, Isagi Baro. And then we have like
even Nagi for a brief moment.
The Nagi's in a weird spot right now.
I know. What did they do?
And then we have like
what have they done?
No one else. Like the only one you could think of is Kunigami versus Shido. Like that's it.
I feel like that's a tough rivalry.
It's tough now
because they're so different.
Yeah, but it's tough now. But it wasn't a big thing for a long time.
I mean, because Kunigami was gone for a minute.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what we have. Like in Haikyuu, we have Oikawa versus Oikawa Kageyama. Then we have Hinata Ushijima. We have Suki Kuro, and we have there's a couple other ones in the manga. So then we have one coming up, which is Hoshiumi versus Hinata.
So I'll give you the Haikyuu one.
I think what puts Haikyuu over the edge is the team rivalries. I think is really good
because I think the Blue Lock rivalries are just better overall. Yeah. But there's a lot more. I mean, also the series has been going on from like the team Blue Lock versus the team U20 rivalry, and then leading to that was insane.
Yeah,
that was insane. I think the U20 stuff
it's so good.
Is the best arc in all of the sports animes.
I disagree, but I respect it because I think for the second match between
I mean, this is tough. The movie we
this
just
one
saw,
was tough.
That was tough.
The previous match, when
since
you
it's
watch
a
it, you're gonna
movie-
love that. Trust me, you're gonna love that. If you love the movie, you're gonna love the previous match so much more.
So we'll see maybe if I change. But
And then Oikawa, the Kageyama versus Oikawa, that the second fight,
that was great, but I still think the U20.
I don't know. I think that's like peak too. Like I respect it though. I mean that
because that U20 arc
is honestly
it was so good. But
so then I think we pretty clearly have
it's either Blue Lock or Haiku.
We've clearly kind of took out Kuroko's.
It might be just equal, but I feel like Blue Lock will probably take it.
And they might
if they keep on track.
Maybe, but I think for me it's Haikyuu. Like I know what happens at the end of Haikyuu, and I love it. So unless Blue Lock just goes fucking dummy crazy and just amazing, and that's like unworldly, I think that Haikyuu's gonna have it for me because Haikyuu just like the way it captivates you in a different way that Blue Lock does is unmatched. And Blue Lock is just fuck this, like they're going crazy right now, but it's like it doesn't pull my heartstrings enough.
I mean, it used to, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But guys, we can talk about this forever, but we actually do have to pick up some food.
Yep.
So if you like the video, like our discussion, please like the video. Tell us who you agree with more, Team Haikyuu or Team Blue Lock. I'm not trying to be recency biased. It's just generally, if you could make me get into a sport I didn't really like and captivate me on and on and on.
But Haikyuu did that.
I've always liked volleyball.
Oh, have you? Okay.
I've always liked volleyball.
Because I've always liked soccer, but I never liked volleyball until Haikyuu.
I played volleyball, not for teams, but like that's how I got my first girlfriend was through volleyball.
It's crazy.
It's kind of crazy. Like but I've always liked volleyball and stuff like that. So if you're Team Haikyuu or Team Blue Lock, I'm not trying to be recency biased, but I just generally like Blue Lock. Comment down below, are you Team Clutch or Team Bodega on this aspect, or Team Haikyuu, Team Blue Lock,
Kuroko, if you're trying
or Kuroko, we could be
or
different.
Something else. I mean, fine.
Just let us know. This was a fun discussion. We love sports, so it was like something we wanted to incorporate into an anime aspect. And with the Haikyuu movie just coming out and the Nagi movie coming out soon, felt like a perfect time. But follow us on TikTok at the Christmas Podcast. Make sure to check out when we go live. We'll have some of these discussions. And with that being said, we are the Christmas Podcast, and we're out. Peace. Later. I don't know why I did this. I don't know why.